2, 1, go. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Agora's Rising Day number 2. For those of you just joining us, thank you for being so handsome, witty, intelligent, and I hope you finally do finish your PhD in cognitive neurology. This is the semifinals number 2 between between Baylife and I'm giving them compliments between Baylife and Warpath Gaming. Let's introduce the teams. Notch, who do we have on the field?
On Warpath Gaming, we have Wrath Z playing Rampage, Peace Turtle on the Decker, Kirby on Sevarog, ladies and gentlemen, Easy Peasy's on Murdoch, and Cordy is on Sparrow.
And I have the distinct honor and pleasure of introducing Agora's Rising number 2 champions, the reigning champions here in the semifinal number 2. Keep your eye on this Decker player. Voas also goes by Force. We're going to interchange just so you guys know. So it's either Voas or Force on Decker. Keep your eye on him, man. Isu, the most disruptive player on Rampage. Undead Pilot on Grim. T-Cell on Iggy and Scorch. Third Bun on Twin Blast. There's a Decker, there's an Iggy. Look for bid containment fields, and look for Iggy to lay down the Flame Belch in those containment fields. This is going to be a great match, man.
So
I am more hyped about this match right here because it's Voas on Decker. If I see Voas on Decker, I'm always going to be a happy camper.
Yeah, the Force gameplay, and I call him Force, Gooch calls him Voas, that the Decker gameplay that we saw 2 weeks ago blew our mind, it blew Epic's mind, it blew the community's mind, and they buffed Decker this week. On Tuesday, Decker got a buff. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, you got rid of her containment field and my team no longer gets a shield. At level 15, it's 7 friggin' seconds long. It's the world's longest death match. And I feel so bad for anybody.
Hey, you guys want to know how long 7 seconds is? Do you?
I'm waiting on it.
That's how long 7 seconds is.
That's so long. The silence was deafening. Dear God, 7 seconds.
What
is
are
so
you?
long.
What are you, freaking Simon and Garfunkel? The silence is deafening. We got the new songwriter of the generation over here, right there, my man.
So long.
So
this is gonna. A lot of people ask.
Oh, Baylife, they're getting on that aggro. Yes, they're getting on that aggro hype. They're going invading the jungle right as the blue orb spawns. Warpath Gaming, they know about it because they knew ahead of time and they warded this. Either they knew they know what Baylife does, or they just did it as a safety. Razzie, he gets knocked up. They are level 2, as opposed to level 1 right now. This is huge. The level 2 advantage is going to be gigantic for Warpath Gaming. I didn't realize that. I feel everyone on the side of Baylife is level 1. Everyone on the side of Warpath Gaming is level 2. I feel like Baylife got way too far ahead of themselves, being down an entire level across the field. You don't want to take that early game fight. Baylife, a little bit.
Isu is going to get melted.
A little bit too hubristic right there. And they're going to get the blue orb and get punished hard for that. That was just a misplay out of Baylife.
That was a huge misplay by Baylife. Warpath Gaming came in, they said nay, and they shut that down with a quickness. Iggy fell and Isu fell on Rampage. Isu does play a very, very aggressive Rampage, so expect him to be in the back line of the enemy team.
Oh, he's so disruptive, man. It's so annoying. Like, I wasn't just commentating it makes me annoyed, and I'm not even playing against it, man. He's always there. He's always just disruptive in the front lines, because that's the thing about Rampage is he has the skill set where you can do that. You can get away if fall back on your. You can jump roar jump, ultimate roar jump again, and it's so hard down to lock. I mean, a good Rampage player almost will always be able to get the hell out of dodge, assuming that his abilities are up. So, but. I mean, early game advantage going to Warpath Gaming. Looking at the overall compositions, as far as which team peaks earlier than the other, Warpath Gaming going with the good old double warrior front line and the Sevarog and the Rampage. 2 rangers in the back line of Sparrow and Murdoch, and then Decker as their support. We saw a lot of this similar composition, the same format of composition in Agora's Rising number 1 and number 2. Agora's Rising number 3, we've definitely seen a departure from that. We've seen more solo frontline warriors and then getting your energy-based damage heroes, Iggy's and Gideon's. And obviously Iggy and Decker, we've seen them paired up. It's a great combination, a lot of synergy going down there. So I actually feel like with the Iggy and Decker, I'd like to see, I think mid-game, Baylife might have a little bit of an advantage, but that's not to take away from Warpath Gaming. They have I think their composition has a pretty good arc as well when it comes to when their timings are and when they heat up and hit those peak timings.
Warpath Gaming, they just caught Baylife just caught Easy Peasy. Easy Peasy is going to die. He tried to jump down, but all 5 are there. He's trying to get Undead Pilot. Undead Pilot is very low.
Oh my, he gets some!
Undead Pilot. But Undead Pilot, or Easy Peasy goes down as well.
Wow!
Easy Peasy was not going down without a fight. Good exchange there for Easy Peasy. I wasn't expecting Undead Pilot to fall. Was not expecting that. They are doing a lot of roaming though. I mean, if you look at Baylife, they're roaming together. They're staying. They're starting to take this lane game. I'm gonna be watching Kirby on his Sevarog though. Are we gonna see him stack his Q? We've talked about it in other games.
Yeah.
A lot of Sevarog players don't stack that Siphon ability. It looks like he is. He's jungling right now. He's getting those last hits on that Siphon, which will increase the power of the Q ability, and it will also give him very pretty shoulder pads. That Kirby talent show, or that Sevarog
he actually goes and picks up the card experience from the kill that Easy Peasy got on Undead Pilot earlier. So that was well done. If you're going to go down, taking someone down with you is always a good thing. But looking at the numbers, we do see that Baylife, it's pretty even. Some 12s, some 9s. It's pretty, despite the fact that the 3 kills went to Warpath Gaming early on, it's otherwise pretty much completely even. And that's pretty much on. It's pretty much on the shoulders of Baylife getting that kill on the Easy Peasy. I think at least 4 of them all shared that experience from that kill onto the Murdoch. But right now in the mid lane, we do see Kirby and Rafsy are rotated there. It's an Isu on the Rampage though, and they're not really going to be able to do much here, especially with Decker and Undead Pilot hanging around. So it looks like a Sevarog Rampage roaming duo. Put your Murdoch in the right, the Sparrow on the left, farm up. Big thing is that Sparrow. We talked about it before. We haven't seen as much Sparrow with Green being implemented as we've seen in previous events, but she is such a hyper late game hero. If you're able to exploit the fact that Sparrow has no escape and her early game presence is very negligible, almost not even there, and you're able to take her out, I think that's something that Baylife, if the opportunity presents itself, will be looking for. It's hard to force the issue right now in the early parts of the lane game just because the towers are there and you don't have as much map control as you will once you start pushing down towers and teams start falling apart a little bit here. But
Kirby and Cordy are actually fighting right now.
There's that big Decker ult going down right there. A defensive one, a little bit of a Venn diagram. Both of them popped out. That was a defensive one, though. Force Voas, he used it to secure his team's getaway. Warpath Gaming looks like they were just simply trying to set themselves in a position to maybe get a kill. I thought they were going to do the black buff. Not going to be the case. All the meanwhile in the right lane, Murdoch is farming. Easy Peasy's doing what a good Murdoch does, and that's just farming lanes. When it comes to that farming efficiency, get that last hit, get your CS score up. Both these teams are roaming across the map, and I mean, the opportunities for these guys to find kills have been far and few between.
Baylife is staying. I mean, they've got a lot of roaming going on right now with Baylife. And surprisingly, they're able to keep up their level, their individual hero level, because you do split that experience between heroes or champions, if you will, and so they're able to. The fact that they're 5 and they're farming so effectively is a good sign. They lost that team fight earlier, but I mean, we look at these card levels, Gooch, and they're almost identical. We're actually starting to see a slight advantage in favor of Baylife with Isu at 15. He is the most farmed on the map right now. So the fact that they were able to get right back into this game after that early game wipe, it doesn't seem to affect them much.
Not at all, man. They brush it off.
Yeah, expect to see them rotate over. I think we're going to see a lot of aggression on Cordy over here. Thirborn is in this lane trying to deny some of the farm of Cordy. Well, I use deny, which is the wrong word. This isn't Dota. There is no deny in this game. But he's trying to keep Cordy closer back to his enemy tower, his tower.
That's a good thing, though. If you're a Sparrow, you want the lane to push in. So I think more so just Thirborn.
It keeps her safe, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's any sort of opportunity you have to pounce on this Sparrow with the lane being pushed out. If you're pushing the lane into the Sparrow, that leads me to believe Baylife right now don't have any intention in actively trying to knock the Sparrow down. Maybe trying to. I think they need to maybe exploit some tower pushes, things like that. But with no steel being on the map, when it comes to diving towers, the best tool available in this game at diving towers is steel with his ultimate, his shield wall. He's able to set up a dissection for the auto attackers, things on that. And with that being banned out, I don't think either of these teams are going to get tower diving hungry, if you will. I mean, Rampage can tank it, but he can't have that strong, reliable initiation. He can throw the rock and get a stun, but it's not that big AoE knock-up that we see out of there. So with that tool not being available, I won't be surprised if this game is a little bit of just a farm fest and wait for certain heroes to hit their timings around the mid-game, and maybe then we'll start seeing some engagements or some pushes.
Yeah, we do want to point out, guys, what we have right here is an NA versus EU team. EU actually won 2 weeks ago.
They did, with Baylife.
Baylife won 2 weeks ago. A lot of people, we wanted to make sure that these events were open to everybody. This is about the Paragon community and allowing those EU teams to play. Sorry it's so late for you guys, but they were able to come in, and they actually showed last week that an EU team, minus a little bit of server lag, is able to come in and play very, very effectively. We have seen... if I'm not mistaken, Baylife has beaten Warpath Gaming all 3 tournaments. I think the way
I think they have been matched up all just the way the seeding has been,
right?
Where they've always been on the same side of the bracket. I'm pretty sure that is the case, where they always seem to match up against each other. But hey, I mean, if I'm Warpath Gaming, I'd be like, to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Exactly. They've played him multiple times.
Yeah.
They've taken games off of him, I believe. So it's going to be an interesting game. Warpath Gaming has the ability to they play really well together. We've seen them in the past put on some amazing games. So we'll just see, like you said, Gooch, farming early. There is a minor skirmish over in the left lane. Boas does drop a wall, but it was more of a defensive to try and escape there.
Now, Isu does have the black buff, so that's, I think, they were looking for an opportunity for Isu. The black buff on Rampage is a very, very strong tool you can use on him, because you can just pop his ult, and how can he slap down the tower? Opting not to do it because the response from Warpath Gaming was appropriate. They were there in time. If they weren't there, Kirby's going to get slapped here by Isu. Not going to be much follow-up for him. Maybe there is, though, because third ward's coming around the corner. But the collapse from Warpath Gaming is going to be there as well. A hectic team fight in the jungle. Kirby's got to get himself the hell out of dodge. Here comes the big rocket barrage coming in. Rassi jumps forward and is body blocking for the rest of his team. Containment field. Beautiful by Force. This is what we were talking about. On the fringes, he gets Kirby. Isu is that harassment god that we know him as. And they get the kill on the Kirby. That was absolutely beautiful done. The peel was there by Rat-Z, but it doesn't matter when you have that containment field going out from Decker. Now Rat-Z running away. He's leaving the rest of his team to be exposed in the back line. Isu just now using his ultimate, so he's at the healthy Pete Thortle. Does have the rocket dash to get away. She chooses to do so. Now Sparrow's coming in here. Sparrow says, all right, I don't care. I'm going to live through my best Hunger Games impersonation. And Hungy Cordy is. As she gets 2 kills all of a sudden, turning this around. It was a 1-for-1, but Rassi's low. They turn this around and focus on him. Force in a lot of trouble. He's so very low. This is very close to getting out of Cordy. This is such a narrow team fight. Everyone is so low. Can Decker get away? Rassi gets taken out. And now here comes Peace Turtle. He's looking for the Decker 1v1, but Isu was alive being a harassment. Now Peace Turtle might go down as well. Isu's slapping and slapping. How can he slap? I actually think Peace Turtle's trying to juke, jive, and dive, but you can't get away if you want to stay alive. And Peace Turtle, I think, more than likely is going to go down. What a scrappy team fight.
What a team fight. Easy Peasy in the meantime was pushing down a lane. Easy Peasy was able to get that right tower down. Holy team fight, Batman in the jungle there. Cordy came in and was like, you're not going to get away with this, and cleaned up 3 people. That was an amazing team fight in the jungle. And
T-Cell wasn't even that fight, by the way.
No, T-Cell wasn't even that.
So that was I believe that was a 4v5, but Cordy came in there. And, they said, you know what, President Snow, I'm going to bring the fight to you. And that's exactly what happened. So got those 2 kills. She got taken out herself as well. Let's take a look at the numbers, Notch. There's a little bit of a card lead here for Baylife, but your Sparrow is at 18 cards. Card points, starting to build into that Blade of Agora. Actually going with major strikes. Normally we see either minor or the 2-point, just regular good old strikes. But going with those regular strikes, what that means is the timing to the Sparrow might be a little bit behind, but when she does hit that timing, her auto attacks are going to be doing a significant amount of, not a significant amount, but a proportional more amount of damage. And I like this. That's a focus on the Sparrow. We mentioned she's a late game hero. Builds her for the late game. I think it's a disservice to Sparrows to build her on mid-game emphasis, because right now Warpath Gaming are in a situation where their mid-game, they're a little bit behind, but it's not like they're so far behind that they have to turtle. They still are roaming across the map, trying to find opportunities to make that lead even or in their favor.
Yeah, we are starting to see some posturing around this this purple gummy bear boss.
Yep.
Force was overextended, and actually Kirby is on top of him. Kirby just missed his route. But with Undead Pilot, they're able to knock him back. I don't think we're going to see a fight. Maybe I could be wrong.
Turtle's going in. Here comes Rat-Z. They're looking for it. They're hungry for it. Goodbye, Force gets knocked back. The Babe roof is being shown there. There's the beautiful Force field, containment field. More so being defensively, but the Sparrow goes down actually.
Thirdborn and Isu actually took Sparrow down in the other lane.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was talking about. Baylife looking for opportunities to take down Sparrow. Well done. Now they can push in this tower. The wave coming up here. What's the response here from Warpath
Force is
Gaming?
Going to fall. Okay. Did actually just get the kill on Force. I mean, T-Cell is alone. Kirby with the chase, he's able to land the root. Easy peasy here. I mean, T-Cell's going to fall as well. There's very little he can do to actually escape at this point.
Yeah,
without a mural,
energy.
I mean, that's GG for T-Cell right there.
Yeah.
Melted. Rest in peace, T-Cell. We will see Iggy another day.
He's going to go down all the meanwhile in the left lane, though. You're giving up that left lane tower. The push continues. So, and this is what we saw from Triangle Formation and Baylife. They never give anything up without gaining ground somewhere else on the map. They gave up a kill on their Decker. They gave up a kill on their Iggy, but they got something out of it. They got the Sparrow, which is a very important. The more you can hinder her progression, the better it is. And they got the tower. So overall, that situation is not as bad as it could have been by Baylife, showing off their experience. Now, are they going to be able to collapse on the Orb Prime? By the time it's taken out here, it's about half HP. Of course, with the double ward composition, not the most damage in the world, but we'll see if they're able to pull this off. And them being Baylife, are they going to be able to pull off a defense here? Because it is 4v5 on the left side of your map. Sparrow's not there, so they're going to try to go in here. They actually easy peasy. He is able to pick it up. Rassi's low. He pops his ultimate early on. Thirdborn is inside of that containment field, but really no follow-up after it. Rassi is going to have to jump away. Isu, are you going to pursue? We know Isu. We know he likes to get super hyphy in these sort of exchanges, and you better believe that's what they're going to do. Nope. They're thinking about it. They're thinking about it. Force going in there, roaming around. Okay, they're not going to do it. But the Prime Orb was picked up here by Warpath Gaming. They're going to more than likely hand that off to the Rampage. But, I mean, the left lane, that Tier 1 tower isn't down for Warpath Gaming.
Thirdborn
so
is in pursuit of Cordy here. Thirdborn is able to get up to Cordy. He did drop his mine and get the slow. Cordy is going to fall to Thirdborn. The damage that Thirdborn is putting out right now is very, 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 very big. A good kill there. They needed that kill, actually. That was a great kill.
Yep.
The turn-in, though, for Warpath Gaming is going to be very hard. They have a Tier 1 tower that's not down. The creep lane is in favor currently of Baylife. So this is going to be a tough one. Yes, you do have a Rampage. Rampage can run through the jungle and just turn this in. Does
that tower still being there, it makes it so difficult. Even I feel like even for Rampage.
Right. Does Baylife just let this go? I mean, you see them. They just pushed a mid-tower Tier 1 tower down. Do they try and defend this, or do they just let Baylife? I'm sorry, Warpath.
They're looking. I mean, look at their positioning. They recognize that Ratzi, he's gonna be making his way. He's actually just outright diving across the tower. Can they stun him? Voas, look for a status bomb. Where's the status bomb? There's the status bomb. They have to force out the ultimate. Undead Pilot. He's getting himself in a position to, right here, look for the knockback on Rassi. He's going to pop his ultimate. He needs to pop his ultimate. Is he going to? He's looking for it. There it is. So he gets the turn in. Undead Pilot's not able to deny it. Rassi, I think he knew that he was going to be able to turn it in for the sacrifice of his life, not using his ultimate. So I actually like that play. Not a bad play at all. The meanwhile, though, Kirby actually gets a kill on Isu. So 1 for 1 right there. The Prime card activation on Warpath Gaming. They need to get something going here for him. Right tower's down, but look for left tower, look for mid tower. Try to take this opportunity you have with that Prime card activation to get something going in your favor. Because right now, looking at the card experience, it's a little bit in favor of Baylife, but this is an opportunity for Warpath Gaming to really get control the game firmly in their hands.
Yeah, a very good turn in there. I mean, you have easy peasy. You have Cordy with the ultimate, Kirby with the ultimate. 4 of your team have the ultimate, and the important ones, Easy Peasy and Cordy with the Prime buff. The extra damage you're going to do from this to minions, to enemy heroes, is huge. So we sacrificed a Wrathsea, a Rampage, not a huge sacrifice, especially with his ultimate. That hero will be just fine without a Prime buff, but they've got to push these lanes out. The lanes are pushed in favor of Baylife right now, so they're going to have to spend time, instead of being able to take a tower, they're going to have to spend time pushing these lanes back out in order to capitalize, truly capitalize off of this Prime buff and get a tower or two, because that's what they need to do here. They need to clear out some of these Tier 1 towers.
At very least, the Prime card activation is going to give Warpath Gaming a little bit of breathing room, because you know that Baylife is going to be a little bit more hesitant than they otherwise would be to take any sort of engagement or any sort of invasion inside of the jungle. So if anything, it's going to grant them that. Mid lane, wide open area. We see that Iggy T-Cell is in that right lane. So this may be a little bit of a split push tactic. The target.
Stone on Force. Force just fell.
Oh, there it is. Force going down there. The rock bottom. He gets him, and down goes Force. Beautifully done. That was all set up by that stun, as you mentioned. Isu going to get the hell out of there. So they're going to give up a Tier 1 tower. That's what we wanted to see Warpath Gaming do right there, Notch. That is what we wanted to see.
Now they're down Force, they're down Decker, while Warpath Gaming still has that ultimate from Decker. They could easily take this tier 2 tower out. T-Cell rotated over, he is going to start defending. We're waiting on Wrathzy to land that stun. Looks like he's going after Thirborn. He's able to land the rock on Thirborn. He jumps in. Thirborn is just being melted right now.
Man, Wrathzy on point right there. The rock's going over his tanks. He's really low. Kirby is tanking the tower right now. Devastating Blast not going to be there. So they are going to have to fall back. Kirby's very, very low. Isu hot on the pursuit. The tower does get taken out. Thirborn's in a lot of trouble. Oh, what a beautiful containment field right there. That just is going to knock Thirborn right back to the hands of Warpath Gaming. And are they going to potentially go for an inhibitor here?
You don't have the ultimate on Wrathzy right now. It is very dangerous. God, the rocks from Wrathzy are on
Good
point.
Lord, he's just...
Undead Pilot. Undead Pilot is down.
Yeah, easy peasy's going around there. If he goes down, this is not looking good. The containment field coming out from Force is there, but it's not doing much at all. If anything, it's just protecting the inhibitor. Isu's low. I think I have a bug, or he's just infinite in ultimate. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. There it goes. Now he's going to get taken out. T-Cell takes out Wrathzy, though. The cleanup from the Iggy. He knocks him under the inhibitor. He's going to force him to tank up. Actually, it's on the creep, though. Beautiful play by T-Cell. So the inhibitor isn't going to go down. I think Warpath Gaming overstayed their welcome here, man. I think they stayed over too many nights, and now the landlord's kicking them out.
What an amazing gameplay from Warpath Gaming. Those rocks from the Rampage.
So good.
He did not miss. He had a target in mind both 3 times because they just killed Undead Pilot. They took out Force right away under Tier 1 tower. Under Tier 2 tower, they said, Thirborn, you're going to die as well. And under the inhibitor, they said, we don't care. And they killed Undead Pilot as well. The stone from Wrathzy is absolutely amazing
the dude is dropping those things like he's I was about to say like a howitzer, but then people would think I'm talking about howitzer, but that's all right. The Battlefield 1 cinema got me thinking all about the World War I stuff.
What time are you at right now? Because the chat's saying I'm ahead.
You're like a second ahead. So just pause it for like a second, then stop when you're good. That's all you need to do. Just pause it for a second, and then play again, and you'll be good. So Isu is here in the mid lane, just trying to clean up the waves. I mean, overall, who came ahead there? Obviously, a Tier 2 tower going down in the mid lane grants you a lot in the realm of map control.
Well, look at the card experience. Look at the card experience.
It's much more even. Actually, yeah. So now it certainly is in favor. By not very much, but it now is in favor of Warpath Gaming, whereas before they were behind on a couple of their very important key heroes. Your Sparrow and your Murdoch were behind on card experience. So even though they kind of got a little bit... they dived an inhibitor maybe a little bit too early and got a little bit ahead of themselves, they still got kills. They still got 2 towers. And ultimately, it has netted them an advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just dumbfounded by the Rampage is my favorite hero. I don't care what anybody says. He's perfectly balanced. Just kidding. He's not. We know he needs work. But holy crap, man. Wrathzy landing those stones. It's just absolutely fantastic. Oh, yeah, man. Gameplay there. Guys, we are taking a look. Someone just asked in chat. This is not pro play. What this is a very early look at the competitive scene.
That's all this is for.
What we think the competitive scene could be with Paragon. So there's been a lot of teams that have formed up, and we wanted to give them a platform to play at a high level. So this is what we're calling early look at the competitive scene.
Yeah, exactly. The foundations of this event, us as organizers, us as content creators, is just to give a platform for teams to perform in front of an audience, because if you're a competitor, that's what you want. You want that glory, and we just want to give them a pedestal in which they can display themselves, the hard work that they've been doing. Any money that comes into the tournament is completely brought in by the community, which is absolutely amazing. It's that sort of that grassroots, organic sort of growth that Notch and I ideally are trying to form right here. As the game develops, I certainly hope that this may be a catalyst for a more professional or esports scene, but right now we're just having a lot of fun, and I'm glad you guys are here to join us.
Wrathzy was able to get Undead Pilot with his stone.
Oh look, he hit a stone, and the sky is blue. Undead Pilot is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Here comes Cordy, laying that inner fire down, the Venn diagram, but Undead Pilot, he's not getting any peel. He gets taken out, and I think with a solo frontline warrior, Rampage, when you are on the back foot when it comes to team fights and you only have a solo frontline warrior, it can be a very difficult situation. Rampage doesn't have the peel of a Sevarog or the peel of a Steel, and we saw what happened there. Baylife lost their backline before the team fight even really started. Now Force is in a lot of trouble as well. Gonna get stunned up, status bomb, more than likely to be taken out, and an easy 3-0 exchange favoring Warpath Gaming. So as of right now, Warpath Gaming definitely seems to have Baylife's number. They're going to chase and chase and chase. Decker is deceptively difficult to take down. That was just well done. They caught out Undead Pilot, Wrathzy with those rocks. Every time they've won these team fights, it's entirely on the shoulders of Wrathzy getting that stun off.
Gooch, I want to talk real quick because we just saw an amazing engagement here. Warpath Gaming is going to go right after the Prime Orb again, but look at how well Baylife is staying farmed. They're not drastically behind.
Yeah,
they farm. One thing we've talked about is teams getting behind. They're losing team engagements, but for somehow, I don't know how they're doing it, Baylife is able to stay in this game. They're keeping their card points up. They are making minor mistakes, and that's what's causing these team fights to swing in favor of Warpath Gaming.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they're staying so farmed, or they're staying right in contention with Warpath Gaming when it comes to card experience, and that's so important. If you start to lose that card experience balance, it swings the game so much more in favor in the enemy team. But they're doing a really good job.
They are,
and I have to point that out because the last couple of games we watched, where the other team just got too far behind and they weren't a factor anymore. But Baylife is going to continue to be a factor with the way they're farming. Yeah. And it's not like Warpath Gaming is just going to be able to walk all over these guys.
Oh, yeah, not at all.
Because they're not going to have that damage increase or that spike in damage or too far ahead of these other guys. So very good job to Baylife at this point.
I really think Warpath Gaming, when it comes to these team fights, it all comes down to the fact that Warpath Gaming has that double front line. They have more ability to protect their back line. So when there is a Decker ultimate or something like that going down, it definitely favors them. Baylife, they need to be the ones who are initiating. I think they're the ones. We need to see Force getting big containment fields out. We need to see Isu getting a stun on someone very important in the back line, the Murdoch, the Decker, or the Sparrow. If those things don't really line up, I think the composition from Warpath Gaming is a little bit more forgiving when it comes to positional mistakes because you have the control of Wrathsea's stuns, and more importantly, you have the control of not only Kirby's snare, but also his knockback of the ultimate on Sevarog as well. Looking into the next couple of moments here, we do see that Cordy on the Sparrow is in that mid lane. They're either going to keep her in that mid lane and continue to push, or they're going to converge in that left lane. And right now, it just looks like they're delegating her to the mid lane. Of course, with Wrathsea holding the Prime Helix, this is an opportunity for them to turn this in. But again, that Tier 1 tower is still that obstacle they have to get themselves through. And that Orb Prime, it's still online, but the time is narrow. It only lasts about 3 minutes, give or take. Zeon is lined up on the Thirdborn. The Devastating Blast, it hit. Thirdborn's in a lot of trouble. Again, on the shoulders of a great ultimate. And a great stun by Wrathsea, but the peel is there. The Flame Belt was actually used. That is what we're looking for. Force gets the big sit field on the 2-3, but the follow-up's not there. Wrathsea's just soaking up all the damage, the disruption right there. And actually, there's a beautiful containment field, but it doesn't even matter. Wrathsea was in ultimate form. He was literally just containing them inside of this choke point. Underneath the Tier 1 tower, Kirby's rooted, though. He's going to get hit by the tower. He's not going to get away, and then here comes the turnaround. Baylife is looking for the turnaround. They get two all of a sudden. A 2-for-2 exchange. Tower goes down. Peace Turtle's very, very low, but easy peasy. A couple auto attacks on the Force. Could be Force going down. Looks like Isu has to focus on body blocking for easy peasy. Wrathsea, I think, was able to get the Orb Prime turn, and I'm not entirely sure because he abandoned his team. So Baylife exploited the fact that they were abandoned, that their Rampage abandoned it. They got a 2-for-2. So an even exchange as far as the team fight goes, but the tower goes down. They do take down Peace Turtle, but more importantly, well, I mean, the Prime card activation is only on Murdoch and only on Wrathsea. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know who came out ahead there, man. I don't know who came out there as far as...
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, but Warpath Gaming does have a huge group of minions pushing down a Tier 2 tower. T-Cell and Thirdborn are going to have to back to defend this. But the fact that they were able to deny a couple people the Prime Orb, I would say that fight goes in favor of Baylife. We know how powerful that ability is. They lost very important members. Peace Turtle did fall. I'm sorry. Peace Turtle did fall. Easy Peasy and Cordy also went down. So they're not going to have the Prime Orb. So it puts Baylife in a situation where they can continue to keep farming. They can keep themselves in. If you look at the card experience, it's actually starting to go back in favor of Baylife. They just have to get a good team fight. The issue right now is whether they have the card experience or not. Is Warpath Gaming has been initiating these fights. They've been doing so every single time, and they're taking out the targets they want to take out. At the moment Wrath lands that rock on like a Thirdborn, the entire team jumps on them. They're giving Wrathsea basically letting him determine who gets killed, and they're not countering enough. So at the moment we see Baylife start engaging a little bit more, I think we'll see this possibly swing in their favor a little bit, but they have to be a little bit careful here with the Prime Orb being activated.
Yeah, especially on Easy Peasy, just because he's got his micro nukes, he's got his Agoran Scepter, as we always see that when that Vital Tap, that fourth card item that comes into play around this time of the game, into the lifesteal as well, with the micro nukes being all put up with 1 in crit, One with damage and a little bit of crit, and then the full damage on the Agoran Scepter. Murdoch, he received some early game scaling changes that ultimately were a nerf, but 29 minutes, 45 card points to spin. Murdoch is going to be doing a lot of damage. And again, the solo front line that Baylife has can be exploited. Undead Pilot, he gets stunned up. Rassi's going in. He's tanky. He has his ultimate. He can just sit there. Undead Pilot, they're exploiting the fact that Grim really has no getaway. The control available to him is not there, but EZP gets taken out in the meantime. Rassi got a little bit far ahead of himself, and down goes the very important. I was just saying how Easy Peasy is going to be important, and he gets taken out of this fight with no Murdoch. I don't think they're going to be able to push this down. They went... I feel like that wasn't the time for them to dive the inhibitor. They didn't get Undead Pilot down. He stayed alive. The containment field was there. And Baylife is somehow able to not only successfully defend their inhibitor, but turn this around.
They successfully defended, they turned it around, and T-Cell pushed down a tier 1 tower to give his team that little bit of experience from killing a tower over in the right-hand lane.
Yeah. So they didn't even have T-Cell for that defense. That's even more impressive. But Thorbjorn wasn't pushed. They didn't even have that defense there. Wow, that's incredible.
And they had to pull Cordy back to defend that tier 2 tower. So they were both down. It was 4v4 on both sides, but again, advantage Baylife. They got the kills, tower defense, and a tower down. We're going to see them start going back into the jungle here, Gooch. We've talked about this so much over the past couple of weeks. There is so much experience in these jungles.
Oh yeah, very important.
If you are a solo queue player or you play with a team, do not leave these white camps and buffs alone. Know how to prioritize them, because you're not just going to want to run through the jungle and kill them. But know how to prioritize these targets and make sure you're at the right time. We noticed a great team engagement, and Baylife is capitalizing off that. They know they're going to be safe in the jungle. They know they're not going to have to worry about being jumped and ganked, because everybody's now back up and at full health for the other team. So know when to prioritize these targets. Get yourself, 1,000 experience relatively quickly if you take out a buff camp and you take out the 2 white camps.
So the Prime card, I believe it was only still available on Rassi anyways, and you're not too worried about that. When the Prime card's activated, you start getting scared about your Sparrows, your Murdochs, your Grims, and those big damage-based heroes. Cordy now transitioning. This is a very typical build. Normally, you see the Blade of Agora gets filled up for the crit bonus, and then Sparrows, what they do is they get rid of it and they exchange it for Sword of the Altar, because this is an Order affinity card, and obviously Sparrow, I believe, is the only ranger with that affinity available to them, so she can transition into the Lifesteal crit bonus, and that's going to be the case. So 32 lifesteal, that means 32% of her damage is going to be going right back into her health pool, and that's kind of Sparrow's way of being defensive, is if her defense is offense, and that's going to be a lot of damage going down there. I mean, you compare that. I mean, yes, Grim does a lot of damage in the late game as well. Twin Blast does decent amount of damage in the late game as well. Oh wow, a beautiful devastating blast on Thorbjorn. The stun is there as well. He gets stunned up. Can they follow up on this? Thorbjorn's going to get away. There's no Muriel. There's no reversal of fortune. And I believe his teammates are collapsing here. All the meanwhile, Peace sort of by herself. Oh, look for a big containment field. They're grouped up. That's what I'm talking about. Big containment field on the 3. The flame bench is there, but Thorbjorn's in a lot of trouble. He gets taken out. Down he goes. And the other containment field is going to drop here. And it's just a little bit of a cluster. There's so many walls going up here. Isu's in the front line. He's looking for a stun on the Peace Turtle. Are they able to follow up here? Gordy's laying down the damage onto Isu, but that's not the person you want to be hitting as a Sparrow right now. You're looking for that backline. Undead Pilot now transitioning from the jungle, being a little bit hesitant. T-Cell's going to fall back to the tier 2 tower and fall to the safety right there, but still, Thorbjorn's off the field. T-Cell's tanky, but it's got to be careful. A couple more auto attacks. A couple crits can be the death to T-Cell. Kirby's going in there, but he's got to be careful. He's taking up I don't know if he knew that he was taking up the tower right there. Ratseed should have took the aggro before he went in there. A miscommunication coming out here from Warpath Gaming that's going to cost them what was a 1 for nearly exchange, now turns into 1-2 exchange. Undead Pilot lays down the bomb, the stun out of Ratseed. Ratseed doesn't have an ultimate. He used it earlier on in this team fight. Can they exploit it? Isu goes in with lower HP than Ratseed, but he doesn't matter because he has the support of his team. Ratseed does have his ultimate. Isu's going to have to back up. T-Cell's going to have to back up. Force is going to go. Ratseed's going to continue to try to jump away, but Undead Pilot quick out of seals, preemptively already in good position. Easy peasy. He's coming back here. He can take out Undead Pilot if he decides to collapse, but I don't think they're going to. They're going to take out Rassi right here, and that looked good for Warpath Gaming, but their eyes got bigger than their stomach. They dived under a tower needlessly. Kirby got taken out, and that opened up an opportunity to just ultimately take the team fight.
Yeah, they did take the team fight, but I want to talk about lanes right now, Gooch.
You're right, left lane.
And T-Cell have to back off.
Yep.
They can't. Yes, they won the team fight, but the advantage for that fight was in favor, especially lane advantage, is in favor of Warpath Gaming. They're not able to capitalize off these team kills because they're not keeping their lanes pushed out. Keeping these lanes pushed out is so important. We're not playing team deathmatch, Gooch. It's a MOBA. We got to get these towers down.
That's
not
right.
having the lane advantage.
I'm sorry, Notch. Let me interject. Can you say that again?
What am I doing?
Can you say that again? What?
We're not playing team deathmatch, Gooch?
You sure?
I'm pretty positive.
Okay,
this is
just
MOBA.
making sure. Just making sure.
I'm pretty sure this isn't team deathmatch. I could be wrong, but the name of the game is getting these towers down. They were able to get these team fights, but they're not able to get towers down. And until they get these towers down, they open up an inhibitor and they open up these lanes a little bit more. It doesn't matter how many kills you get because Kirby is an advantage, or Warpath Gaming's got an advantage with these lanes being pushed out so far.
I think Kirby went underneath that tower with the pretense that Rassi was tanking it. I think that's what happened. If that was the case, Kirby probably could have finished off T-Cell, but just that when it comes to diving towers, when you have two warriors, you definitely can do it a little bit more reliably, and you have that sort of double tank protection for tanking up the tower. But even then, the margin for error when you dive towers is pretty much non-existent, and an error was definitely made by Kirby and ultimately Warpath Gaming right there. But I mean, taking a look at the numbers, we're going to see Warpath Gaming still find themselves in a significant card lead when it comes to their Murdoch and it comes to their Sparrow, 54 card points. Though at the same time, Iggy's also at 54 and so is Twin Blast. So I actually think, looking at this, it's surprisingly even. I mean, it's 17 kills to 17 kills, 518 CS to almost the 600 CS of Baylife. So Baylife, they're farming a little bit more effectively, and that's really what is translating them into this position that I think otherwise, I feel like they should be more behind than they actually are.
And they're back in this lane over here. I mean, are we going to see another? Are we going to see another tower dive, Gooch? It didn't work out last time.
Well, Iggy's pushing left lane this entire time for Baylife. So if they want to do something, they can't be slow. They got to be decisive about this. Sisu, he's going to have to jump away. Kirby's in the front line. Wrath Z is there as well. Kirby's tanking it up. Stun's not going to land right there.
So low. Easy peasy just got took off by the
Oh, he's taking the tower. Someone get the tower aggro. The containment field is beautiful. They knew that was going to happen. He's jumping in as well. He gets taken out by the time anything is done. Undead Pilot says, get the hell out of here. He uses the ultimate. That was a beautiful containment filled by force. He recognized that Easy Peasy was taking the tower, contained him inside, living up to the name of that ultimate right now, and they're going to continue. The blood is in the water. They're going to continue to go forward. All the meanwhile, T-Cell's in left lane pushing. If there's no response to this for Warpath Gaming, even if they get away, they still aren't going to be allowed. Look at Undead Pilot. He's in the pursuit. He dodges the route from Kirby. That means Kirby's no longer in travel mode. Undead Pilot can now catch up to him. Can he stun him? Can he root him here? He needs to. He's got his knockback queued up. If Kirby goes down here, T-Cell already pushing in that left lane. This could be first inhibitor of the game. The implications of Kirby going down is massive right now. He is going to be able to fall back to his tier 2 tower, but again, T-Cell, he gets the tier 2 tower. I'm surprised. Keep pushing, T-Cell. Keep going. Keep going, buddy. You got this. You got the inhibitor. Right lane, being pushed in by Undead Pilot. All the meanwhile, Rassi's being Rassi, he's watching the Orb Prime. Is he going to try to steal it? No. He's going to fall back. He could have had the rock. I'm not sure what he's doing here. What's the play right here? You got to defend that left lane. T-Cell pushed all the inhibitor all the way in. I mean, look at Warpath Gaming. It's just Rassi right here. The only thing I can think he's doing is either he's just watching it happen. Does Easy Peasy have his ultimate up? I was going to say, not going to happen. He's just sitting there waiting. He's got to be careful not to get collapsed on. He's going to run away. Prime Helix in the hands of Warpath Gaming.
Really, really good play from T-Cell. They were able to get that. They were able to get that tower defense. They're also pushing. Mid lane was being pushed in as well. I mean, minions are so important. Keeping your lanes pushed out, as we just saw, it gives. Wrath, or no, I'm sorry. Isu has the Orb Prime right now. We know how easy it is for a Rampage. We know how easy it is for a Rampage to just basically walk this in. He's going back to heal up, I believe. I'm trying to see. Yeah, he's going back to heal up, restore some of his mana. They have 3 minutes after you kill the Orb Prime to get this turned in. Warpath Gaming is going to have to defend this. If they give up this Orb Prime, it could be GG. It could be GG. Gooch, guys, Gooch, I think, is dying in the background. So
I don't know what you're talking about. I was just taking a breather, man.
He was dying in the background, ladies and gentlemen. I was making sure he was all right while still trying to cast. He's alive. He's back.
Got that mute button. I got that mute button, man. They didn't hear a single thing that I was saying right there. So you're good, man.
It's very hard to cast while I have you choking in my ear, by the way.
So, looking at the ward vision, we see a little bit of an arc of those 3 orange wards inside the jungle of Warpath Gaming. The blue orb is available, but with the Prime Helix being on the side of Warpath, or I'm sorry, of Baylife right now, and it's on a Rampage. The play, what we've seen here, when there's a Rampage on the field, it's almost just let the Rampage turn it in. The moment he abandons his team, assuming that is what happens, then initiate and get into their backline and try to get a kill right before or right as that prime card is activated. T-Cell, they're doing the same thing. This is something Baylife always does. They're relegating him to the other side of the field. This is what Iggy does so well, is he's the best wave clear, he's the best split pusher in the entire game. Now, we looking at the minimap, we see Isu, he's trying to maneuver around and try to get himself into a position, but that's what I'm talking about. He abandoned his backline, and here comes the initiation from Warpath Gaming. The containment field is going to go down, a good defensive one. Peace Turtle's going to go in there. Just Razzie and Peace Turtle right now. They need either Easy Peasy or Cordolaire, and that's not going to be there. The Status Bomb stuns on 2, gets knocked out. Good peel by Undead Pilot right there. The pursuit continues. Razzie, the Orb Prime has been turned in. The stun is there. Razzie characteristically landing that. And if they can get force here, this will be a great opportunity. But can they, though? So tanky, diving to tower, get him taken out. So the Orb Prime's been turned in. They take out force, but they have to fall back. Tier 2 towers getting pushed. It goes down. T-Cell's pushing this inhibitor in.
Look at
they have to fall back.
The fact that this inhibitor is being pushed right now,
T-Cell oh wow, Baylife is not letting him fall back. Baylife's not letting him fall back. T-Cell's going hard on the inhibitor. Cordy gets blown up by Thirdborn. Good lord, this is not a good situation. This is going to be an inhibitor going down. Baylife is getting aggressive. They're going to sacrifice themselves a la Independence Day style. Hello, boys, I'm back. That's what they're saying right now. Rassie's going to be able to jump away, and they just want to prevent them from going, but the defense is there. T-Cell is trying to suicide. He gets the inhibitor down. This is ultimately a victory for Baylife, even if T-Cell goes down. Easy Peasy is going to take him out, but that inhibitor, all the map control in the world is now in the favor of Baylife, and all of a sudden, the other side of the field, Warpath Gaming were able to take out T-Cell, but they lost to themselves. They lost their Sparrow, they lost their Rampage, and now they might lose another inhibitor.
Kirby is taking so much damage from Undead Pilot right now.
Yeah.
Good force wall from Peace Turtle, but does Isu still has his Thirdborn's taking a lot of damage. Thirdborn is going. I don't know. I may be a second ahead of you.
Oh, it's okay. Now he gets stunned up. He's taking a lot of damage. He gets rooted up, and that's gonna be Thirdborn going down here. So Warpath Gaming, they get some consolidation kills after losing an inhibitor, giving away kills, but still they're gonna be back on the field in about a minute and 10 seconds. That inhibitor's gonna be down for a while. Kirby might be going down as well. He's taking up Undead Pilot. He takes him down by the time he's able to get taken out. Isu, he's looking for the consolidation kill onto Kirby. I don't know if he's gonna be able to get it because he's gonna be able to shadow charge away. So even with these Baylife team members going down here, it's still a favorable exchange for them. I mean, Warpath Gaming is still asphyxiated inside of their own base, and Baylife can just roam across the map, take out Harvesters, invade jungles, get aggressive wards on the map, continue to look for opportunities to pick people off using Isu's Rock and beautiful containment fields coming out of Voas's Decker.
Let's take a quick look at the cards here. So card advantage is still pretty evened up. I mean, we do see multiple heroes at 60. How are these rampages building? They're going full tanky. The Mad Spore Sass was actually removed on Tuesday. We do see Thorn, of course, your Thorn Greedweave, your Spike Bone Plates. I love the Swift Creek Heart. It gives you health and attack speed, and Rampage is so good with attack speed.
This is like the ideal. Like, this card was built for Rampage, yeah.
It is a Rampage card for sure. Swift Creek Heart, I mean, look at, you fill it up with health and a little bit of, or attack speed and health. I mean, we are seeing full tanky builds out of both of these heroes. With Mad Spore Sash being gone, it was overpowered. I don't care what anybody says.
It was such a
30 damage a second, and it was the lane clear it allowed for a Rampage player was insane. A late game 30 damage doesn't seem that much, but when it's hitting everybody and it's a second, there's not much you can really do about it. So they did remove that last game, so we're not seeing any of those. But I mean, we see full tank builds off of these guys. Kirby is also building very, very tanky. How many stacks is Kirby at? Kirby is at a total of 40 stacks right now. So he's at 40 stacks. He's at 43 minutes in. He's getting a stack a minute. Good job, Kirby. Keep it up, buddy. Which we don't see. Yeah,
normally we see Severogs at this point have like just a little, like, baby diaper pads. Like they have the pull-ups of the shoulder on them. So Kirby's been doing definitely out of the Severog play, which is far and few between that we've seen. He's a little more emphasis on that stacking, but at the same time, he's still been impactful in team fights. It's not like he's been AFK farming his stacks. Well, he's still been a contributor in these team fights. So big ups to Kirby to be able to walk the tightrope of playing into one of the very strong cores of that hero, but at the same time, still be very impactful.
Yeah. It's going to be... Warpath Gaming is at the advantage right now. They've got lanes pushed in their favor. They've got T-Cell who's pushing down, solo pushing. They're just letting him solo push.
And that's what he's been doing. I figured that was what you meant. Yeah, that's what he's been doing this whole time.
and it's worked out so well. They're having to put Cordy over here. Cordy is such an impactful hero in team fights, and taking him out of the team fight is giving Baylife the advantage here. Undead Pilot is gonna take a lot of damage right there from those ultimates. Good ultimate.
Gotta be careful. Can they follow up on this? Now they can't get ahead of themselves. We've seen it before. The containment field is there, beautiful from Force. It allows them to get away, but Kirby's in a lot of trouble. Undead Pilot, he's gonna get away to safety on the shoulders of Voas, carrying him with that beautiful containment field. No one's gone down quite yet. Kirby's hurt. He's gonna have to get away. He's gonna have to go home, heal his wounds, and come back into this team fight. Underneath the tower is Isu. He's got to be careful. He's gonna get status bombed, but he's gonna be able to get away. Cordy and T-Cell are duking it out right now. Actually, Cordy's looking for a kill. If he's able to get that off, he roots him up. More than likely, he should be able to get that going back to the team fight in mid lane. Isu stuns up Kirby. They're hot on pursuit. They want to chase in a rampage. I almost never think is a good idea. Going back to Cordy versus T-Cell. T-Cell's very, very tanky. He's built for tankiness. He only has 1 or 2 damage items. Can they collapse on him, though? I think we do see Warpath Gaming. Another beautiful root right there coming out from the right click of...
look,
yep.
Look at the core, Gooch. Look at the core right now.
Kirby's falling back. There you go, Kirby. So the core is going to take some damage here. Still, not having to worry about that Iggy, who's been such a nuisance this entire game for Warpath Gaming. For 1 minute and 10 seconds, this is a great opportunity for Warpath Gaming to push out these lanes. The inhibitor's going to be up around the same time that T-Cell is up. So push these lanes out and try to get a little bit more presence on the map. As long as they can survive and not take any more core damage or lose another inhibitor within the next minute, which I don't foresee them doing that with them having a power play 5v4, they definitely are still in this game. This is still anyone's game, Notch.
Yep, where card points aren't going to matter. Everybody's about to be at that 60-point cap. So, yes, it's you have to be very wary of a lot of these heroes. But the fact that we're at the 60-point cap, I think we're going to start seeing teams play a little bit more aggressive here. The Orb Prime is going to come into play a lot. I mean, as you can see, they're already starting around it. Rathzy is on Isu, on Isu. Where's the rest of the teams here? I'm trying to find the rest of the teams with my map. I fell through the world again. A lot of posturing around this Prime Orb. It's going to come into play. Whoever can get the Prime Orb, I'm going to call it. I'm going to say it now, and it's probably going to cast or curse me to death here. But whoever can get this Prime Orb, if they can get a successful turn-in, could win this game.
Yeah, we're at the stage where a team could just, with the Prime card, you do so much damage. They can just push down the inhibitors. 1 or 2 shots. Even your tanks, your Isu, Rampage, your Kirby, Sevarog, so on and so forth, are fragile during the moments of a Pride card activation with a maxed out Sparrow, with a maxed out Murdoch. So this is going to be a momentous occasion for either one of these teams, and they both know it. The Rock is not there. Isu's looking for it. He's going to be able to get away. So Warpath Gaming, we're looking to get potentially invade the jungle. The stun didn't land, though. If that stun land, that might have been go time for him. But instead, they're going to go right over here and start taking down this Orb Prime. It is the 4th one, so it is relatively tanky, but it's still going to go down pretty quick. Isu, they know this is going on. Baylife know this is going on. Are they going to go in? Are they going to look for a steal? The snare is there. They revealed that Baylife is there. They know it from wards as well. They're going to stop on the Orb Prime. They're immediately going to go in. Rasty's just going in there, maybe to be a nuisance. Where's the containment field? They're grouped up. Beautiful containment field. There's no follow-up. It's just Kirby and Wrath right now. They need their Sparrow. Sparrow is there. Cordy's sitting there, looking out. The choke point, it's a very narrow choke point, so they can find themselves a position to utilize that, but they can't. The containment field is actually balking Rasty. He gets knocked out with the status bomb of Force over in the back line, and right now, just a lot of exchanges back and forth. Both the Rampages on both sides of the field are wounded, but Kirby's still very healthy, so that means that the front line is available for Warpath Gaming, but it's not going to happen. The Sparrow goes down, and the Sparrow going down. This is not looking good for Warpath Gaming. They were around this area, and they were able to bust through the wall a la Spartan style here, man, and fall down and just take them apart. Rampage down goes one as well. This is looking great for Baylife, man. They can just continue to get the Prime card, push in a lane, push an inhibitor, potentially push the core.
They're very low here. They have to be careful taking this. It is a level 4 Gummy Bear boss. It's going to deal a lot of damage, and it's very, very tanky. You have T-Cell, who's amazing. 3 turrets down, a little bit of oil. They will be able to get this, but what a good team and fight. What a good engagement from both of these teams here.
It all came down to those containment fields, man. The containment field from Peace Turtle, from Warpath Gaming, it was a 3-man containment field, but there was no response. Sparrow showed up, didn't show up early enough, and then after the containment field of Warpath Gaming went down, Cordy was in a really bad spot and got blown up. So if
look at this middle inhibitor though, Gooch. Look, it's so low.
Yeah, they're literally just pushing it. Undead Pilot has the Orb Prime. Oh wait, no, he's inside their own base. Yeah, it was getting pushed down, but they're gonna be able to defend. Yeah, you're right. My colors aren't even switched, and I made that call right there. But so that is good that the mid inhibitor is down to about a 3rd HP, but the main priority here is defending the Orb Prime turn-in, because the Prime card activation right now on both Thurborn and Undead Pilot and to an extent T-Cell as well, is going to be such a big power spike that Warpath Gaming are going to be walking on very thin ice right now, and that ice is just continuing to melt and melt and melt underneath their feet.
Yeah, they have to defend this. You cannot let this get turned in. But we're probably going to see what we've seen many, many times before. You just let your Rampage go. Rampage is going to jump over you regardless. Just let your Rampage go. I would love to see Baylife stick together.
Yeah.
Don't separate. Let Isu, the entire 5-man team here, stay as one and protect everybody. Because if Isu jumps too far ahead and Warpath Gaming is able to kill that back line, they'll swing this in their favor. Yeah. They'll be able to push that middle inhibitor, which is very, very low. So it's going to be interesting to see. Undead Pilot is caught out here by Kirby. He is taking quite a bit of damage. He does have Isu to protect him, but Undead Pilot is so low right now.
He is. He's got to be careful. He was able to deflect it. That was beautiful. If they can take him out, this would be huge from him, but they got to do something. There it is. They take out Undead Pilot. Warpath Gaming taking down only one of the 2 ranged carries, and more specifically, the ranger that does more damage in the late game is now off the field. We do see T-Cell was pushing mid lane the entire time, but Cordy's in good position, dealing with that nuisance of T-Cell's Iggy. Right lane is going to be under duress as well. Cordy, quick on the heels, already responding to the right lane, and should be able to fight this off. Take a look at Isu. He's going to be able to turn in his prime card more than likely, but with it's not going to be activated on Grim, which is really the important hero. A big push coming out here from Baylife, though. The response, Peace Turtle is already there. Look for Peace Turtle to get forward. Look for a containment field. It's just Kirby and Peace Turtle right now. They're going to have to need one of the Rangers for any sort of follow-up. There it is. Pretty much, here comes Cordy right now, but Cordy's really low. Easy peasy coming in from the back line, though. If they lose Voas, if they lose T-Cell, this could be disastrous for Baylife right here. Voas going to jump up to the high ground, but Cordy preemptively already is there. He uses the shield to try to keep himself alive, and now 2 down on the field. Grim is going to be back in 20 seconds. No Decker for 80 seconds right here for Baylife. I feel like the prime card activation is meaningless now. It's only on, the only ranger who got it is Thurborn's Twin Blast, and that ability to just like haphazardly push with reckless abandon isn't there anymore. Warpath Gaming, they're in a pretty good spot right now. They have a minute to push out these lanes. Mid inhibitors are very low. Take out the other 2 lateral 2 tiers, take control of the map, and exploit the fact that you have what I believe is a little bit stronger of a late game presence with that Sparrow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Sparrow's ultimate is able to hit multiple targets. It doesn't just hit the one. You cast that you get that off in a very narrow corridor. She's able to deal a lot of damage to multiple heroes, and it's very hard to defend that. We are going to see them push out lanes, though. That's the big thing right now. Get that map advantage back in your favor. Warpath Gaming is going to equalize and start pushing these lanes out quite a bit, but you got to watch T-Cell. T-Cell has just been pushing. He goes where they're not. He's done it every single engagement. He just pushes out another lane. With your inhibitors being open, 1 inhibitor has already fallen. If they're able to get that inhibitor down, that's 8-minute respawn time. That's a long time to try and defend. Like I said, Caster's Curse. I said next person who gets the Orb Prime wins, and I was full of crap.
Well, no. You said able to get the Orb Prime without, I think I'm paraphrasing, without giving up much ground. And the ground that was given up by Baylife and to return that in was far too vast. I mean, we're talking Louisiana Purchase style amounts of ground that was given up right there. Ratsy has the Black Orb. We see this in late game situation where you put it on the Rampage. He's so tanky that he doesn't care about the tower. It gives him extra damage to that tower. And they're keeping an eye out on this left tier 2 tower. They're thinking about pushing, more than likely just falling back to the lane. Look at Ratsy. He's setting up a flank right here, but the ward has spotted him out. So they know that he's going the long way around. Baylife knows about it. Their jungle's warded up. Is he? Oh, he's going for the mid inhibitor. He's going for the mid inhibitor is what he's doing. He's just going to try to backdoor it.
I don't know. Protection right now. I don't know if he's going to be able to do this, Gooch.
He has his ultimate. He's doing damage to it. He's looking for a forced response, but Warpath Gaming recognize that's what's going on, and they're going to initiation. There's no Rampage right now, so let's go ahead and do the dirty and get on Peace Turtle. That's going to go down. Containment Fields goes down, just kind of a desperation panic. The shield is there. Isu, quick on the hunt to try to bring him down. The GTFO is going to be there and takes out the Decker. All the meanwhile, he isn't able to get there. The backdoor protection, huge mistake coming out from Warpath Gaming. The backdoor protection living up to its name, and now Sparrow goes down. This is not the play we were looking for. Isu, he's low, but he's a Rampage. One does not simply take down a Rampage. Any more people going down here will more than likely be Baylife taking the game, because all the meanwhile, T-Cell in that right lane pushing down the inhibitor, he can just go onto the core right here.
There was no. I'm so confused by this play right now, Gooch. Without having a minion wave with you, the inhibitor does more damage. T-Cell is able to take down an inhibitor. What was the point of that? Did they think they were going to bait the rest of the team? Baylife.
I think that's what they were doing. I think that they were trying to pull Baylife back, but definitely a big misstep, a big miscommunication coming out there from Warpath Gaming. T-Cell, he's going to go down here, but this is okay because he actually got the inhibitor. But oh no, look, the rest of Baylife is here in pursuit. Easy peasy, was just thinking he's going to get a solo kill. All 5 people dead on the side of Warpath Gaming. This is game number 1 going to Baylife.
What? I'm still confused by that play. Well done, Baylife. Able to recognize that the backdoor protection was up for that inhibitors. They were able to capitalize on it without having a tank.